Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and let's get started with our friends from Gulf of America, XRP.com. That's where you go if you want to join their free email list to receive Oceanfront properties every Friday. I get them. You just put your name and email address in, or if you want to look at properties now, you can call 850-890-8884. Today, in their email, they featured a property. This is at a resort called Splash. This is a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, $700 and something thousand condo. Pretty darn nice. Pretty great view. It's close to Pier Park, which is a great area with restaurants and all kinds of things to do. What a sunset that is. There's actually two complexes in condo complexes in Splash. And let me show you some of the infrastructure of Splash. Let me go back here. You can see that's a place to eat and have drinks. There's the workout facility. Then they've got a pool. They got one or two or three pools, I think. They got places for the kids to play. So this is a more kid-oriented complex. But you can go to Gulf of America, XRP.com. These guys, they're XRP guys that, like you, are going to want to do some things once their XRP gets to a price where they're ready. The market's kind of boring. We got a 220 XRP, but this isn't boring. This is what's his face? The guy that founded BitMEX, Arthur Hayes. He's talking about the liquidity that's coming.
This time around,
this is their volume, not mine.
It's the cessation of quantitative tightening at the Fed. So this program that the Fed started running in 2022 of reducing their balance sheet is over. Now the balance sheet will be kept constant, and obviously most analysts believe that the Fed is going to restart quantitative easing at some point for whatever justification that they give. It doesn't really matter. All we know is that we have essentially bottomed on the liquidity chart, and the direction in the future is higher. And so that's why I believe that the $80,000 dip on Bitcoin recently is the bottom. And now we're going to have a supportive liquidity situation, at least marginally on the dollar, and we're bottom here and can go higher.
I agree. There's a lot of liquidity coming. Now, this is also interesting. This is co-founder of Etherealize. Listen to what he says here. This is good for not just for Ethereum, but XRP.
The Genius Act, the stablecoin bill, was the prelude. But look at what happened. The stablecoin bill is now in law, and every single bank, every single fintech, everyone's launching their own stablecoin. So see what happens with a little bit of regulatory clarity.
Yeah.
When the Clarity Act ultimately passes, it's going to unleash, I think, 10x the innovation, because that applies to DeFi, it applies to other tokenized assets, it applies to frameworks for all different kinds of blockchain architectures. That's going to unlock some real upside. So, I mean, I got the opportunity earlier this year to testify in front of Congress about the Clarity Act. So we're familiar with it. We're very supportive, and it's a matter of when, not if. But when blockchains get codified in the law, then we'll see the real potential. The bull market hasn't even started yet. This mini little like up and down in ETH is nothing. I think the real thing is going to happen when we have regulatory clarity. Every company is deploying, and then you have Ethereum. The network's going to be pervasive, and the asset's going to be worth trillions, and that's what I'm excited for.
And that's when XRP is going to be worth trillions too. Bitcoin Telegraph telling the truth here. Spot XRP ETF filings are surging as legal clarity, institutional demand, strong market infrastructure put XRP ahead of other altcoins. We told you that was coming. Then we've got the XRP supply on exchanges drops over 45% in 60 days. Fresh data from Glassnode shows major supply shift happening right now, from 3.95 billion XRP on September 21 to 2.6 billion on November 27th. Exchange balances have fallen more than 45%. Now this is interesting from Anders. Grok saying BlackRock, Fidelity are rumored to file XRP ETFs soon. We had CoinShares withdrew its XRP ETF. No shares were sold and the transaction was never completed. This removes them from the race, likely due to market saturation by giants like BlackRock, Fidelity, rumored to file soon and focus on their NASDAQ merger. However, it's not. All right. Make no mistake, the big boys are coming. Grayscale had put this out. I didn't even realize it, but I wanted to make you all aware. They apparently got 0% fees. I don't know if this is for a short period of time, but if you're not comfortable with custodying your own XRP and all that, ETFs are a good option for people like that. And if they've got 0 fees, that'd be probably the direction I would go in. Check this out. We now have Trump saying he will keep stocks at record highs, $600 billion a year in Magnificent 7 capex, Fed cutting interest rates into 3% plus inflation, global AI infrastructures spending at $1 trillion a year, Fed ending quantitative tightening in 2 days, U.S. deficit spending greater than 6% of U.S. GDP, NVIDIA larger than all but 5 national stock markets, record corporate buybacks of $1.2 trillion coming in 2026. Trump saying he will completely cut income taxes or try to. Trump promising $2,000 stimulus checks. Let's not forget crypto legislation for the first time since its existence, folks. Now, the rigged game that America has been living through all these years, make no mistake, he refers to the SEC and who they should go after. Make no mistake, these Wall Street giants, they and the SEC and all of them have been in bed together for all this time. It's been a game. Look no further than ETHgate.
The SEC has the enforcement capability to look at what people are doing by name in options, derivatives, short sales, and they should go. If someone's doing anything wrong, people are in collusion, or people going short and then making a tweet, about a bank, they should go after them, and vigorously, and they should be punished to the full extent the law allows it. So the SEC has the.
I think you get the picture there. Okay, this is interesting. This is Global Head of Compliance and Regulatory Relations at PayPal.
One, you cannot fully automate compliance because as long as there are humans in an organization, there's going to be a certain level of discernment with regards to governance oversight and ethical decision making. With this said, the tools that are inherent to blockchain and digital asset technology allow you to kind of really boost your control suite, which then will allow you to have a lot more fun and kind of play in that space of innovation. So the way we like to think about it is one, I cannot mess up the mothership, right? Because to your point, we have a large business. The digital asset business is extremely important, especially given Genius, et cetera. And we do have the first branded stablecoin by a major fintech that we are really looking to integrate into all of our core activities, et cetera. And from a compliance perspective, the same kind of 3 areas you want to focus on, we use the ability for blockchain and digital asset kind of analytics and monitoring, again, to boost that. So one, it's onboarding, so upfront, knowing who your customer is, knowing who your merchant is, being able to have more real-time checks, et cetera. That first hop to a wallet when you're going on chain, being able to have that in real time, again, allows you to now push through a lot more velocity of transactions in a way that you feel more comfortable. Second, and this is big from a regulator perspective, the continuous monitoring. I will tell everyone here, when you are in a space like this and where we are on the evolution curve, the story matters so much. And I promise you, you will get things wrong. So what you want to be able to do is have a story that you believe in, that you can defend. And when things go wrong, it will not be because you did not try to do things correctly. So that continuous monitoring of nefarious and non-nefarious. Sometimes a regulator in another part of the world will say, hey, we're noticing that things are happening in some DeFi pool with PYUSD. What's happening with that?
Oh, yeah. Now, look at this. Donald Trump's tariff revenues surge. Here, we'll just listen.
President Trump says that he relied on his tariff policies to make all of this happen. In October, tariffs brought in $33 billion. That's a 316% increase from October of 2024. Now,
$33 billion. If we get anything bordering on removal of income taxes, even if it was a fourth, you know what this market, this economy would do? It would boom like no more, and crypto would do the same. Gold is the only form of freedom that has survived every collapse. Listen to this.
We were a free country once, but once they need to get in and figure out how much did you earn, as though it's their business, you got to pay your fair share. It's not even about paying your fair share. It's about managing the wealth of your citizenry and making sure that some people are not richer than they ought to be. Because if the government wanted to, pay its debt some other way, it easily could. But instead, they choose to use the people as a source of revenue. And that's, think of the percentage of time that you work for the IRS every year so that you can fund regime change operations or some other bizarre foreign policy objective like we see with U.S. aid in some foreign country. It's like that entire system is just fundamentally unjust and undemocratic, and it really doesn't represent the will of the people. It doesn't allow them to be as free as they could be. It doesn't allow families to preserve and transmit generational wealth, and it's all done in the name of this obscure concept of fairness, which is defined by bureaucrats and politicians thousands of miles away from you.
I'm telling you, I've seen Trump mention the idea of getting rid of income tax with regard to tariffs. I've really, my gut tells me that this has all been a setup. All this tariff stuff has been for the purpose, with the goal of getting rid of at least some of our
President Trump
income.
says that he relied on his tariff policies to make all of this happen. In October, tariffs brought in...
Whoops, didn't mean to do that. But that's kind of what I believed, is that that's what the game plan is to try. First, you got to get all the tariff revenue to start coming in to make sure the numbers are right. But it really feels like this is what the goal is. Getting rid of income tax would go a long way to getting rid of the corruption in this country. Long way. Okay, we're going to go into DAIXRP.com. That's the Patreon. If you'd rather join through YouTube, click join below any of these videos, or you can join through X by hitting subscribe. We do the full video and the extended video with no commercials in there. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe. Hit the like button. Tell your friends and family. Here we go.